everyone and welcome to another video. So this today is about my go-to look, and I'm starting off by carving out my brows with a concealer. I'm using MAC Studio Finish Concealer in NC30, and I'm just taking that underneath my brows with an angled brush and I'm buffing it all onto my lid space. And then I'm taking my favourite eye base ever, which is Laying Low by MAC, and I'm buffing this all onto my lid. This will just keep your eyeshadow on longer, it prevents it from creasing, and it keeps it as a nice matte base. And then using my favourite palette of all time is the Morphe Oh Boy palette. I'm taking one of the lighter shades at the top. They're all matte and this is a really nice light orange. So going in with this one with a fluffy tapered brush, this is a BH Cosmetics. I'm buffing this into the crease and just blending it out. You want to make sure that your blend's really nice and seamless, you don't want any harsh lines. And then going in with a slightly darker shade, I'm taking that below the crease where we've applied the first layer of eyeshadow, and this is just going to give it a little bit more depth and add a little bit more warmth to the eyeshadow colour. And then going in with a MAC 266 brush, I'm taking one of the darker shades towards the bottom of the palette and popping this on the outer edge of my eye. And then for eyeliners today, instead of my usual black, I'm using a NYX waterproof darkest brown eyeliner, and I like to hook this to the very top of your lash line, and of course I'm winging it out. I love a wing. So just taking it on the top lash line, gradually winging it out, make sure it's really sharp at the tip, and I always try and thicken it up in the outer edge, right to the corner, just to give it a little bit more thickness. And now all the line is done, I'm going in with my lashes. These ones are PoundLashes in the style Bitc. I like to give them a little wiggle before just to shape them to my eye, and then go in with Duo Glue and pop them on from outer to inner, just securing them right above your lash line. It's really important to get them right in place where you want them because you don't want a wonky lash. So just always have a little look at them, make sure they're set correctly, and then when they're slightly dry I like to give them a little pinch. And then to disguise the lash glue, even though it's classed as a clear one, I always like to just go back over with your eyeliner, covering the top layer of your lash line. This just gives it a little bit more precision and makes it look better. And now moving on to the lower lash line. Here I'm just using a Natural Collection, I think this is just classed as brown eyeliner, and taking this, running it right underneath the lash line. I usually go about halfway, just to give it a little bit more of a wider eye effect. And then I like to take an angled brush, a little bit of shadow that you've used on top of your lids, and run that across the eyeliner just to soften it. And then this week I have suffered a little bit of a breakout. I think it's just from being stuck indoors all the time, but nothing concealer can't hide, so I'm just taking a little bit of Studio Finish Concealer in NC25 just to conceal some of the spots that I've got and some of the redness. I'm buffing it out with a big fluffy brush. For foundation, I'm taking Studio Fix Fluid in NC42 because I love a little bit more of a yellow, cool undertone, and just to match my fake tan. And then I'm buffing it out with a bit more of a fluffier brush than before. Once that's all over, I'm taking NARS Concealer in Custard, running this underneath my eyes, down my nose, and all of the higher points of the face. And then to blend it all in, I like to just use a sponge and literally bounce this on your under eyes, making sure it blends into the foundation that you're wearing. And then I like to just go in with my previous foundation brush just to buff out all of the edges to make it look a little bit more natural. And then my favourite thing to contour with at the moment is this, which is the NARS foundation stick in New Orleans. It's very easy to use. Honestly, I love it. It's so creamy. It's natural looking once you buff it all out. I like to give myself a little fake nose job with it. And once you buff it all out, it just looks like a really creamy natural bronzer. The brush I'm using here is just a Real Techniques fluffy brush. I think this one's used for foundation, but I love using this one because it's a little bit smaller, so you can blend out all of your contour nicely and it just buffs it out to make it look really creamy. And then for the nose contour, I always like to use a little bit more of a smaller brush. So I'm taking this angled brush. Don't ask me which one this is. I've had this brush since I was at college, which was like 7 years ago. But it's an amazing, just tiny, fluffy angled brush. And then to set my under eyes, I'm using this, which is the Givenchy Prism Blush in Popeline Rose. This one doesn't make your under eyes too dried, so I like this one a lot. For highlighter, I'm going in with MAC Beaming Blush and my favourite Zoeva fan brush. I like to just kind of stroke this across the tops of my cheekbones, and it really makes the pigment stand out a lot more than using like a more fluffy brush that just flies everywhere. This just gets the product on where it needs to be. And if, like me, you want to create the illusion of a slightly thinner nose, take a little bit of the highlighter on your finger and run it down the bridge of your nose. This just makes everything look a little bit more narrow, and then I like to use the fan brush just on the tip because I like a really glowy highlighted look. And of course I'm going in with a little bit of highlighter on the body because who can resist? Using the same highlighter, I'm just popping a tiny bit in the inner corner of my eyes, right near your tear ducts. This just again ties everything together, and if you want a really glowy look, it just makes everything else stand out. Now time to bronze it up a little bit more, so I'm taking MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Dark Deep, and then this is a contour brush from a set from BH Cosmetics. I'm just literally popping this on top of everywhere that I've put my cream contour, just to give it a little bit more of a defined look. And now it's time for mascara. This one is the Kat Von D Go Big or Go Home. I like to do my mascara afterwards, so once I've done all my skin and my powders and everything, I go in with the mascara. Just be extra careful not to print it onto your skin, because you don't want to ruin what you've done. And as if the lashes weren't big enough, a little bit more volume on those, just to make them pop a little bit more. And then moving on to lips, this is actually a Primark lip liner and I absolutely love it. I wish I'd have bought more, but this one is Toffee. It's a really nice brown shade. I like to just define your cupid's bow, draw around your lip line. I like to enhance them a little bit more and then kind of sketch it into the lip. And then for lips, I'm going in with MAC Like Me or Love Me lipstick in Tres Leches, which is a really nice, it's kind of like a tea rose. It suits all skin tones, it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, and it feels really comfortable on your lips. And that is pretty much my finished go-to look. I hope you've all enjoyed watching today. Oh, hold on, let me just let down my hair to complete the look. There we go. But yeah, if you've all enjoyed watching, please don't forget to like, subscribe and comment below.